What a beautiful way to start the morning. Good morning and welcome to you all. I'm so glad you're here, all joined together. And hello on Zoom. I am not Aline King, although I wish I had her hair. Her hair is gorgeous. She is not feeling well today, and at the last minute decided that she just wasn't well enough to come, so we give her all good thoughts for feeling better soon. I think I'm Duncan Matthews as well, so we'll bear with me because I'm not sure I know one of those songs, but we'll do our best to muddle through because we always do. So the modern Unitarian Universalist believes that every individual has the right to explore spirituality and religion for themselves, free from the constraints of dogma or doctrine. We believe all things are beloved and are worthy just because they are. We believe in a future where we are all treated equitably, but recognize the inequalities in this world and seek to work to tear down the structures that uphold them. At the center of it all, there's love. Love for our world, love for each other, love for ourselves. I introduced myself, but I didn't describe myself, and I was asked by someone today, why do we do that? Well, we're trying to be as inclusive as possible, and we realize that some people don't have good sight or sight at all. So we describe ourselves so they can imagine us in all our glory on the podium. So I told you my name is Stacy Sasaki. I have red hair, I'm wearing green, I'm about 5'7", and I have glasses today. So, and I have not heard from anybody about any announcements. Nobody came to me for announcements. So I'm thinking, we don't have any, so that's okay. I do want to remind you that Joe Ferrara is next Sunday. So I hope that you will go have some lunch, come back, and be with us at 1 o'clock for his concert, because he's fantastic and really worth seeing.
Can you let folks know about covenant groups? We're doing covenant group signups and to reach out to Laura Lisa.
Oh, okay, yes. Covenant groups are restarting. We took a break for the summer, and Laura Lisa is restructuring them if they need to be. And so if you haven't been in a covenant group before and you want to be in one, reach out to Laura Lisa, and she can help you get started in a covenant group. Okay, and I think that's the only announcements we have.
And if you don't know what a covenant group is...
Oh, well... Maybe I don't know how to say what a covenant group is.
Ask me after service.
Ask her after service. It's a really great group of people that get together and talk about a bunch of topics that Reverend Casey. Yes? How do we contact Laura Lisa? I know she's in the directory.
Laura, if you don't have her email, reach out to Nolan.
Oh, okay. And if you don't have her email or you can't find her phone number in the directory, then reach out to Nolan in our office and she can give you the information for Laura Lisa. Okay, I think that handles that. We stand upon land that carries the footsteps of many generations of Kumeyaay people, which stretches from the shores of the Pacific Ocean, south to Ensenada, east to the sand dunes of the Colorado River and Imperial Valley, and north to the Warner Spring Valley. We acknowledge that this fellowship resides on unceded Kumeyaay land, and we honor the spirit and continuing presence of the Kumeyaay Nation. Now we will have our chalice lighting. And I didn't ask anybody to light the chalice. Thank you for hanging with us. We seek our place in the world and the answers to our heart's deep questions. As we seek, may our hearts be open to unexpected answers. May the light of our chalice remind us that this is a community of warmth, of wisdom, and welcoming multiple truths. And maybe you at home would like to light your own chalice so you can join us in our chalice lighting. We're going to have our congregational hymn. If you stand, if you're willing.
Truth and good be sung through every land. be the spirit of this fellowship. May the quest for truth be its sacrament and service be its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, and to help one another in fellowship. This is our aspiration.
Good morning, everyone. I am the Reverend Casey Marie Pandell. It is my joy and honor to be the minister here at Summit Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Whether it is your first visit or your 5,000th visit, you are whole, you are holy, you are loved, and you are so welcome here. I am a 35-year-old, 5'4" woman with shoulder-length purple-ish hair today, wearing a cream dress with a floral pattern and a purple floral stole. Our reading today are words from Linda Susan Ulrich entitled Brilliant Collisions. And it begins with a quote from the guitarist from The Police, Andy Summers. "The train jerks to a halt, and as I get out at Oxford Circus, Stuart gets out with me. We look at each other, laugh, and make the standard remark about it being a small world. But this is the brilliant collision. One train later, and all might have turned out differently." Linda Susan says, "My 6-year-old son loves owls. In that charming 6-year-old way that love carries into everything. We hoot at each other in greeting. We've been to the local nature center's Owl Prowl, where he got to meet some birds in person. Last Christmas was one big owl palooza. A huge wall decal with owls, owl sheets, an owl umbrella, even a personalized owl doormat for outside his room. Recently, we had a dance party after stumbling upon a video by the band Owl City. The whole thing started by accident. You see, when he was 2, I went to a week-long conference, which is equivalent to a month in toddler time. At the end of the week, shortly before my ride to the airport was due to arrive, I realized I had not gotten him a promised souvenir. I raced to the retreat center's gift shop. Most of what I found fell into 2 categories. Not intended for a young child, or are you kidding me with that price? Eventually, I happened upon the stuffed animals, including a great horned owl that would not break the bank. With the clock ticking down, I hurriedly searched for one whose beak wasn't completely smushed, tried to calm my anxiety in line at the cash register, and ran back to the shuttle stop before my credit card had even cooled. And that is how Owly entered the picture and transformed our family. You see, we can't always predict which choices will wind up having a huge impact on us, whether it's bringing home a stuffed animal or taking a particular train to Oxford Circus. For Andy Summers, running into Stuart Copeland in 1977 was the brilliant collision that took the Police to the height of rock stardom and altered the trajectory of their lives. Given how profoundly I love the band's music, even 35 years after I first immersed myself in it, that chance meeting changed my life as well. Will my son's interest in owls wane along with his interest in stuffies? Or has he begun a lifelong fascination with them? There's no way to know. Whatever his future holds, I hope he'll invest it with a love that carries into everything. Pervasive love, we thank you for the gifts of the unexpected, for the chance encounters that enrich our lives out of all proportion. We ask that you help us to make decisions, however small, based in compassion and integrity. And when we reach a pivot point, we ask you be the wind at our back, guiding us towards the highest good. Amen, and blessed be. Welcome to worship.
Now, if you're able to stand, we have hymn 359, and it's in the Teal book. Oh, no, it's not.
It's in the gray hymnal?
It threw me off because it said Grace Lewin McLaren.
And why don't I just play through it once first, because I think it might be a little less familiar. Okay.
Yeah, it's not familiar to me, so. So day by day our joys increase, and at the last of the day with our spirits shine as stars. With spirits shine like stars.
Our joys and concerns portion of our service give us the opportunity to hold each other in loving kindness. No joy or concern is too big or too small to share, but this gives us the opportunity to hold them together in community. You are welcome throughout the week to email joys and concerns to myself or Stacy Sasaki, and you can also on a Sunday morning write them up next to the chancel. Whether you decide to share one to be spoken aloud, all are welcome to light a candle in remembrance. Rin shares a joy, sorrow, and concern, saying his son Leaf has been struggling for months with mental health challenges, but he is now safe in the ER receiving care. And he says to please think of Leaf and all people who need help and understanding and always love. Leaf has been a member of this community throughout many moons. We hold Leaf and Rin and all people who need our love so gently and lovingly in our hearts. We know that there are joys and concerns that remain unspoken but still felt deeply in our souls. For those, we also hold deeply and gently and lovingly in our hearts. And now I would like to invite Mary Carter Vale, our Director of Religious Exploration.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Am I on there? Is it? Can you hear it?
Yes.
All right, you guys can hear me. Awesome. My name is Mary Carter Vale, and as Casey says, I am your Director of Religious Exploration. And today I'm wearing a bright purple Camp de Benneville Pines t-shirt and black pants with tie-dye rainbows on them. And I'm about 5'7", 61 years old with gray and red hair. So I'm very excited to be back from camp. I was at the camp all week this week, and one of my joys was Casey came up. I got to be with you youth for the first time because we don't have a youth group here, but we're both got the youth bug now. So again, I love being with our youth. It was the first time since the pandemic that the youth really took leadership again. And it was really, really special. Sorry. It's good to see them. So I have a story to share with you today. If anybody wants to come up to me, you'll see pictures. We're in the fort. That happens. But we also have pictures on the screen. My name is Joaquin. You guys want to come up? Phoenix is really deep in there. Do you guys want to see the pictures? It's a really pretty book. It's called Whatever Comes Tomorrow. And this is a book that sometimes we get really big feelings. It can be a little bit scary. We think about a lot of different things. So this is a book about what to do with those big feelings. Tomorrow may bring endless sun or swirly snowy skies. Tomorrow may bring new hellos or difficult goodbyes. Tomorrow may bring changes that are scary, strange, or new. Tomorrow may bring chances to embrace your truest you. Tomorrow may bring obstacles that seem too hard to face. Tomorrow may bring feelings that will need some extra space. Tomorrow may bring questions that you have no answer for, or answers that may lead you to more questions than before. Tomorrow may bring anything You have no way to know. And sometimes that uncertainty gives worries room to grow. They sprout and bloom, consume your mind. You want to run and hide. But you've confronted fear before and reached the other side. You can't control what happens next. The what, the where, the how. The only thing in your control is you, right here and right now. You take a breath, you close your eyes, you whisper, I am strong. You tell those worries in your head, I know, I can, you're wrong. And when tomorrow disappears, becoming yesterday, you'll know for sure you can endure whatever comes your way. Tomorrow may bring laughter, love, confusion, fear, or fun, an angry, rainy hurricane, or peaceful seaside sun. Whatever comes tomorrow, however steep the hill, you'll find your path, you'll journey on, you'll make it through. You will. So sometimes when we have big worries, it's hard to remember that there's the next day tomorrow, right? When I have big worries, sometimes I stop and I just breathe. Just feel that breath going in and out of your lungs. I know it sounds simple because we don't really think about it. That can help you to center and be ready for whatever comes tomorrow, right? So we're gonna go back to RE. I have a special surprise. We have a new tiny little library that Scott made for us. And we're gonna go back there and maybe start designing some decorations for it. And finger painting too, if you wanna get messy. Not on the library, but it's gonna be fun today. So y'all ready to head back? All right, some music and we're gonna head back.
Search for what is true. 5, all people have a say. 6, room for a peaceful world. 7, the web of life's the way that will lead us back to me and you. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, so, do. Now, if you'd like to stand again, if you're willing and able, we have hymn 123, Spirit of Life, which I think most of us are very familiar with. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing to my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Whose hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
This is apparently one of those days where it feels like the service is zooming by, because we're like 45 seconds away from the sermon already, and it's not even 10:30. Please join me in a time of silent prayer, meditation, or reflection as I read words from Jessica York entitled, Gird Thyself. This is not a prayer that you may find hope, for hope is a luxury that some cannot find and others cannot afford. This is not a prayer that you find more love in the world, though I hope you continue to feel love and send love to those near and far. I pray instead that you may find tools, a hammer lying half hidden in the grass, a roll of duct tape curled up and forgotten on a high shelf in the back of the closet, a wrench poking out of the back pocket of a stranger. Take these tools and gird thyself. A hammer for justice, duct tape to hold together your broken heart, a wrench to grip and provide advantage in applying torque to turn objects or to turn the world. Take these tools and others you may find in places expected and unexpected. Take these tools and gird thyself, for weeping may last through the night, but the work begins in the morning. Amen. Oh, Miles. Miles, did you send me for a loop with this one? So this is my last auction sermon for the year. One of the big thing I offer for our auction every year is the sermon. Whoever wins the auction item picks the sermon topic, and that's all you get a say in. I get to deal with the rest of it. And I told Miles on Thursday that I was still thinking about it. And Miles is exceptionally intelligent, and he had given me a really good blurb about what he was hoping for today. And it got me thinking really cerebrally, which is not out of my wheelhouse, but not generally how I try to do my sermons. And I was sitting down with Mary Thursday night, because this is what happens when Mary and I go off places to work together. We work all day together, and then we sit down and we talk shop for like 3 more hours. So I was sitting on the floor in her cabin the other day, and I went, man, I just don't know what I'm gonna say yet. She goes, well, tell me about it. I said, Miles wants to hear about the circus of life. Monkeys from work screaming at you. Elephants stepping on your toes. Do you want cotton candy? How about popcorn? No one even asked me if I wanted to be at the circus, let alone how I'm enjoying it. But that there's beauty in the circus as well. And she looks at me, she goes, you're at high school camp. Don't you think you're in the middle of a circus right now? I guess I am in the middle of a circus. And see, that's the really interesting thing about camp that I didn't understand. I've been to camp a few times as a camper before I was a minister, and I've been as the minister on duty for family camp for both a small cluster up in Orange County and for family camp where kids, like specifically like our elementary age kids, come up for camp. This was my first time being the minister for the high school students. And I was really excited about it because I'm the youngest in my family. I have 0 experience with high school kids outside of when I was a high schooler. And I thought to myself, what a great opportunity to learn about not just young people and what they're interested in, but young people of our faith. And I realized while I was up there, a little bit intimidated by a bunch of 15 to 17-year-olds, which is a very bizarre experience, that camp, when it's the high schoolers especially, is kind of like a microcosm of regular life, back down the mountain, as they say. I've had a really rough week in my head personally, and I've been really hard on myself. I've got 2 weeks before I go on vacation. I have 6 million things I feel like I still have to do. And then there's just me being me. And then I got to camp and I saw these kids. I would like you to think about the most theatrical person you can think about. For some of you, that might actually be me, and I'm so sorry. Multiply that by about 15 to 17-year-olds, plus two deans that are the same age, plus 2 adult deans that are in their early 20s, and you get a little bit of an idea of what this camp was like. At one point, there was a dance that everyone did, and there was pineapple cartoons on the screen, and all the kids stopped dancing, ran over to the screen, and started dancing with all of the pineapples on the screen. So if that gives you an idea of what the energy of these kids was like. And I keep saying kids, but these really are young adults that grew up, most of them, in our faith. And I remember watching them that night, and this is Thursday night. So I've been there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with these kids. And I'm watching them figure out how to be together in community. And I'm hearing their conversations, and they're talking about their friends back down the mountain. And they're figuring out how to be together in community with them too. And they're still in this space trying to figure out who they are too. And I can tell you the majority of these kids would eschew gender norms at the drop of a hat, given half the chance. Most of them do. So we have these kids who are trying to figure out who they are, but they are also absolutely, unapologetically themselves. If they're a lion, they know they're a lion. If they're a monkey, they're a little loud, but they know they're a monkey. If you're one of the elephants, you know you're one of the elephants, and you will trumpet that horn as loud as possible. And I saw these kids being wholly, unapologetically, and beautifully themselves, no matter how chaotic life can feel. I don't know about you guys, I remember being a teenager and everything felt like the end of the world. So you can imagine being in that space with each other, knowing that you're held in that space together. And like I said, I've had a really rough week. I've been really hard on myself. I've been really mean to myself this week in ways that I don't like. And I remember looking at these kids, not just authentically living through their circuses, but enjoying their circuses and thinking, if I could take just a little bit of that joy and tuck it into my heart, maybe I'll be a little bit nicer to myself. Because I recognize some of that is societal pressure. A lot of what I've been feeling this week is the way I've been raised to feel about certain things. And I see these kids looking around and going, heck no, this is our circus, and we're gonna live it the way we want to. And I remember thinking, God, how much a space like this would have changed my life when I was their age. To not feel like the outcast, to not feel like the little weirdo who liked Shakespeare and could quote it from the time she was like 6. How much of a difference having this kind of loving, compassionate space would have been. To have other adults outside of my parents who looked at me and said, you are beautiful and whole just as you are. Other ringleaders who are teaching younger ringleaders how to be the best, most compassionate ringleader they are. And I remember looking at Mary and saying to her, this faith changes lives. This faith saves lives. And she looked at me and she said, you have no idea how many times I have heard that over the years. See, I think, Miles, I was starting to think about this too practically about everyday life. And then I realized, where are we? We're at a faith community. There is no reason why this sermon should not be based in a faith community. I'm very particular about the language I use. When I say I am preaching a sermon, I mean it. I am preaching a sermon for you. I'm not up here making a speech. This is me being moved by the Spirit in the ways that I feel we need and that I need and the world needs. And those kids were church this week in a way that I didn't know was possible. And I thought to myself, if we're living through this circus that nobody asked us if we wanted to go to and we just kind of showed up at, And all the monkeys are screaming at us, the work monkeys, the home monkeys, and the monkeys from everywhere else. I don't know why it's monkeys, but I think they're pretty loud, and that might be why. We have all of this stuff going on that we don't get a say in whether we have to engage in it or not. So how do we not go totally bonkers? Because this is what my head did this week. Did I send that text message? Oh, I haven't done that assignment for my doctoral program yet. I still have to do the order of service for this week, and I should probably do it for the week after. And I still have to make sure that meeting gets scheduled. And oh, did I eat breakfast this morning? I did eat breakfast this morning. And did I talk to that person? Stop. And sometimes I would see the kids just sitting there in the sun, basking. And I thought, man, when we can sit in that space that these kids have learned to be and have grown up in, what magic can happen? I was listening to the conversations and I heard them talking about the justice work they wanted to do. One of the girls, before she left Prescott, Arizona to come to camp, connected with 4 other food pantries in her area to help the families of the people from the restaurant she worked at who had just been raided by ICE. Before she left for camp, she reached out to these pantries and said, please help these families. And every single pantry responded with food to help these people. I heard them talking about being equitable, both how they wanted to show up in the world and with each other. When one monkey would be a little too loud or one lion roar a little too close to their ears, hold on. They would have a covenantal conversation. They talked a lot about the transformation they wanted for their lives and they wanted to see out in the world together. Not every person who was there was a Unitarian Universalist, and they recognized that, and they honored and uplifted the plurality of everyone's beliefs and feelings. They were so overjoyed to share their interdependence together, knowing that they had to rely onto each other to make this new community. And their connections were so strong, the ones that met each other had new friends for life. I already heard them saying, I can't wait to see you at winter camp in December. And gosh, did they do it from a place of generosity at every turn. Even when they were at odds with each other, even when it was a tough day, even when there was immense grief or intense joy, it was always from a place of generosity. I saw our values lived out every single day in a way that I didn't know was possible. You have these teenagers who are thinking about their lives, what they want to do next, where they want to go, what they want to see, and still dealing with all the same fears and anxieties that all of us in this room are. I heard a lot of conversations about what next with the political administration and how they could engage in doing the work they needed to do safely, but still wanting to change the world. This circus they never asked to be a part of, and yet they sat there wholly and completely in our Unitarian Universalist values. They weren't separate from their lives. The values were the foundation of every single conversation they had and everything they did the entire week. I don't know how much you all know about teenagers, those of you that don't have them, like me, but I think they're a little bit like carnival folk in that they are really slow to trust, but when they trust, they love hard and they love big. And these kids looked at me and said, Reverend Casey, will you come back in December? We really want to see you again. And how lucky I am to be asked, because you do have to be invited. You don't get to choose to go. Much like our congregational polity here in our faith community, you do not just get to go, you have to be in community and be invited. And they asked me to come back, and that is something that I do not take lightly. I might have cried a little bit. I was so impressed and so transformed by what I saw with these kids. So I suppose, Miles, what I want to bring back to how there's the circus that we never asked to be a part of. The unexpected is just part of life. So I guess the point that I'm trying to get at, Miles, and everyone at home and in the room, is that the circus is going to happen whether we want it to or not. That's life. That's the life that we've been born into, and a lot of times we get no say over any of it, and we just have to get through it. But how much more wonderful and exhilarating and beautiful, even in all its wild weirdness that what life can be, when we can live it through our faith values. I think sometimes as adults, it's easy to forget that in a community like this, that's not just one part of us. Our faith community, yes, is our third space for a lot of people. You have your family life, your work life, and your third space. But really, I think this faith, Unitarian Universalism, because I will tell you, I am unapologetically and loudly and proudly a Unitarian Universalist. When we let this faith not be a part of us, but actually be the root and the foundation of how we move through the world, I think that's how we can really sit in this crazy, wild, wonky, wonderful circus of life and really start to make it our own. I hope that you hear these stories about these kids and remember that if we look at our children as part of our community instead of just the future of it, we can see some really wonderful change happening in our faith community and in our communities at large. I know for me that I will take what I learned from them, because God, I think I learned way more from them than they learned from me. I would like to take a little bit more of their courage, a little more of their certainty, a little more of their willingness to explore and change and be, and just lean into the unknown the way I watch these kids do. I hope that the next time I'm really mean to myself, and I hear that mean little voice that society has put in my head, I hope I can remember these kids, these beautiful, wild, wonderful souls who stood there and said, "This is me, and I will not change for anyone, because this is how I will move in the world, and this is how I will make a better world." They certainly made my life better, and my world a little better, and I think sometimes that's just as good as changing the world as a whole. So when that circus gets a little loud and the lions are a little close to your ears, and sometimes we have 6 million things we have to do and they feel like they're in the air and you're going to drop them all, I encourage you to just take a breath and remember the root of our faith. At the heart of it, at every second, is always love. The generous and transformative power of love for each other, for ourselves, and for the world. It may be a circus we didn't ask to be a part of, but we can look at it from a place of love and find ways to enjoy all of the beauty and wildness and wonderful nature of it. So may it be, and amen.
Your Sunday morning offering is a gift that provides Summit UU Fellowship the financial resources to help build a better world together. The smallest gift is welcome. For those of you on Zoom, the link can be found in the chat box. Please select the Sunday plate option to allocate your donation to the appropriate account.
Oh, you made me cry. So we are now standing up, if we can, and singing hymn 1014 in the Teal hymnal, Answering the Call of Love. This is another song that we've adjusted to be inclusionary, because it used to be standing on the side of love. Now it's answering the call of love. No, the words in the hymnal have not been changed. Thank you. Promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide, and so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our God. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. Sometimes we build a barrier to keep love tightly bound, corrupted by fear, unwilling to hear, denying the beauty we found. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one, emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. A bright new day is dawning, when love will not divide. Reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. We are answering the call of love. Thank you for being here today. After our closing circle song, we'll have a 5-minute break. But right now we're here. Sorry. We are putting out the chalice. We are extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Stand with me if you are willing and able, and reminding you that if you are uncomfortable holding hands during the song, you don't have to. You can put your hand over your heart, you can make a heart, you can stand like this. And if you find somebody standing next to you that doesn't want to hold your hand, just put your hand up and hold the other hand. It all works. We're all joined by spirit. Stand with me, please.
Fellowship we stand, we love and just